Okay, so now that I know I've got all of our data loaded into the Pims Experience in Benchmarking product for our projects, I'm going to get my cost estimator, Natalia, to analyze for me how we've been performing on our wind farm projects. How accurate have our estimates been? Are there any projects that stand out? How consistent are some of our key metrics across these projects? So I'm going to hand back to Natalia now, who's going to jump into the system and produce the information I need.
All right, Shane, let's see what I can pull up for you. So I have been given 2 assignments. So what I'm going to do is jump into the Pims tool. Okay. So as Shane has mentioned, so we have a wind farm portfolio, a list of projects, and he wants me to compare the estimate versus actual and what's going on within those projects and if there's any discrepancies or something to point out to produce those reports for him. All right. So what you see here, this is our Pims tool. All right. Now what you're seeing here on the right hand is a list of all the projects within that portfolio. We have First Bend, Hidden Creek, Hidden Pass, Settle Shore, etc. Now for each one of these projects, we have our revisions. All right, we've captured our estimates and our actuals. Okay, and right now I have selected Hidden Pass. Okay, just one of the projects. And then when I look here on the left, there's the information of what I have clicked on the project. So the top portion shows the general project information. I see the project name, the entity. I also see the region where this project is coming from. And that's very important to know, especially with currency and stuff like that. So right now this is coming from California, so we're going to be using US dollars or USD. Okay. Then here on the bottom, we have more information with these tabs that we have here. Right now I'm looking at the cost data that we have captured. Okay. What I have here are my cost categories, our project management, engineering, support, commissioning, and so forth. We have our initiation date, and it shows here this is March 2015. Okay. We don't have it captured here, but you do have the option of uploading your man hours. Okay. We have our cost here, and then we have our selected currency. Okay. Then we're going to go and jump in. I'm going to show you our design data that we have captured. So we have categories like our blade length in feet and meters. We have our number of turbines, and we even have, for example, our turbine manufacturers. All this data is captured in here. So this is just to show you where it's all stored. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get started and start my report that I'm going to produce for Shane. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to see how have my actuals differentiated or from my baseline estimate. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and produce a report right here, class 1 versus actuals. Okay, so what happens here, Pims pulls out a pop-up window, and this is simply just to filter. In my case, I'm looking at my wind farms. Okay, once I have that, I'm going to go ahead and preview. And then automatically Pims, very nice to have everything all pretty for me, my report chart right here. Okay, so what are we looking at? So here on the bottom, I have a list of all my projects. I have my First Bend, my Hidden Pass, and so forth. And the bars represents the actual cost per project. Okay, and the 0% right here represents my baseline estimate. So I'm looking at how far off was I on my estimates. Ideally, I want to stay within my 10 to minus 10%. So within this band. Okay, that means it's okay and I'm happy with it. My First Bend project just barely goes over, but just by 0.5%. So I'm okay with that. This one seems to stand out, the Hidden Pass project. It's over my estimate by almost 13%. That's something that maybe Shane would like to know about. Then my other projects seem to be below my estimate by -4 and -1%. Okay, So this is essentially a very valuable report that I would need to put together for Shane. And knowing this, looks like this project's standing out, so I kind of want to dive in deeper there. Now I want to send this to Shane, so I can always, since this is PDF, I can always print it out or email it to him. So Pims does provide you with that email feature directly on the screen. So with this feature, I can just send via email. Okay.